Did you know Buffalo is considered the most affordable city for renters who earn minimum wage? That's according to a new study published in the New York Times.
The headline certainly got our newsroom talking, a mix of surprise and disbelief here. So tonight we're reading between the lines to find out if the Queen City's top rank is really such a good thing. But first, here's a closer look at that study. Real estate company Clever looked at the 50 largest housing markets in the country. They calculated what percentage of a minimum wage income in these cities would pay for a one-bedroom apartment.
Buffalo is number one with 39%. Only the top three cities came in at less than 50. But keep in mind, anyone who spends more than 30% of their income on rent is considered rent burdened here in the United States. And when the cost of just about everything feels sky high these days, including rent, is the Queen City really one of the only remaining affordable communities?
Well, tonight you'll hear from two voices who know this issue well. One of the researchers behind that Clever study and a member of Buffalo's Affordable Housing Task Force. They both tell me the answer is more complicated than the headline may seem.
It's pretty unique what you guys got going on in Buffalo.
We may really want to keep Buffalo a secret now that a study by Clever Real Estate ranks us number one when it comes to rent affordability.
I think people in Buffalo should feel pretty good about the fact that the city has a pretty affordable housing market in terms of the rest of the country, at least.
Nick Pisano from Clever crunched the numbers and found that based on our minimum wage of $15 and average monthly rent at around $1,000, folks here use about 39% of their income to pay for a one-bedroom apartment.
Buffalo at number one still doesn't really qualify as a city where people could afford to rent. 39 is still above what we would consider to be a typically affordable rent.
Compare that to Atlanta, where people need to pay 132% of their income to pay rent.
What does this say about the cost of rent and the cost of living right now?
I think it's obviously just way too high. It's really catching up to people, and it's really starting to have a major impact on their bottom line.
So the New York Times put the study up on their Instagram, and the people have spoken. Some are cheering our city on, saying Buffalo's the only city with sense, but others are calling out the issues, saying that people are really struggling. One commenter saying she lives here, makes more than minimum wage, but it's hard to keep food in the fridge.
I think that we're struggling everywhere.
Athena Cyrus lives on Buffalo's east side and is the co-chair of the Affordable Housing Task Force.
It was really astonishing to see us at number one in the list, right? If we're the oldest housing stock in America, or one of the oldest housing stocks in America, is that why the rent is low, do you think?
She points to several other variables to consider here.
That's like before taxes, right? And they're only considering single individuals. What about people with kids? Or what about seniors, right? If we're on the top of the list for affordability, what does that say about the quality? Being low income in Buffalo has more implications than just, can I pay the rent?
So let's talk solutions. How do we improve?
That in Buffalo, they would have to raise the minimum wage to $19.25 an hour if rent prices stay the same, or they would have to lower the rent prices for a one bedroom to around $780 a month. Both are going to be a challenge.
Athena says she and other people on the task force are pushing for change.
The Affordable Housing Task Force is doing the good work, right? We put together a comprehensive plan that supports the citizens of Buffalo, right?
So it's an interesting conversation, one I invite you to chime in on, share your thoughts with us on the WKBW Facebook page. And then on WKBW.com, we have a link to the work the Affordable Housing Task Force is doing to find some solutions here in the city.
Very interesting, for sure.
Yeah, good conversation.